was a struggle, had to make it out the jungle. This is a show for you. Welcome to the hustle, under pressure that will break a foe. Keep chasing your goals until you blow. Now, welcome to the hustle.
Welcome everybody. We're back to another episode of the Hustle Podcast. It's episode 4. You got Steve, Tech and Talia in the building, and a very special guest, Jonathan Emile.
Bless up. Thank you guys for having me, for real. I appreciate the, putting the appearance fee on the table right away.
What's up?
So it's good.
You get to leave with us, though.
Well, like the last track said, cut the check before the show. No?
That's right. Got to cut the check before the show. Yeah.
Exactly, man. We usually let the guests do their own intro.
Oh.
I feel like I got to do an intro for you.
I'll let you do it, man.
On today's, you could definitely bounce off and add to it if I miss anything. But this is the Hustle Podcast, and there's no better guest that I could think of to really bring that concept home than Jonathan Emile. This guy is, he's got his hats in so many different areas: singer, songwriter, business owner, label owner. Dude, this guy embodies the hustle like no artist that I think we've had on the podcast. That's no shade to anybody else, but it's just Jonathan has been putting it down on the scene for a long time, doing his own thing. Literally probably one of the busiest people I know. Like, put it this way, when somebody says they're going to hit me back and they don't hit me back, I begin in my feelings about it. But when Jonathan forgets to hit me back, I'm like, nah, he's busy. Like, I'm going to let it slide, because that's the big homie, man. Jonathan Emile, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, sir.
You're too kind. It's good to see you, man. With the whole pandemic and everything,
it's been crazy.
Like we were just talking before, like last time you saw me, I was just growing out my locks, like had the mini fro.
Yeah.
And then now it's just like it's crazy how much time has passed and how we've been so isolated from each other. And I haven't touched a stage with this man in a minute, so it's good to be back. This is the first in-person podcast I'm doing in a while.
Welcome
it's been
to
all
the
Zoom
show.
and Google and everything. So it's nice to meet you, Steve and Talia. It's blessed. Thank you for having me on the hustle. Yeah, man.
So it's our honor, bro. Let's get right into it, because for people who are not familiar with Jonathan Emile, the best way to start, the way we start with all of our musical guests, is kind of, why a career in music? Because let's be honest, it's not the easiest thing to pursue.
No.
So why music?
I think it chose me to a certain respect. We know each other for a minute, but when I was 18, I was diagnosed with a life-threatening cancer. It was a type of cancer that, about 10% of the people survive. Yeah. And I had to go through chemotherapy and radiation and multiple surgeries and all type of thing. And I was on a different path before then. But then, what really helped heal me with all those other chemotherapy and everything was sort of this therapy, this connection that I got through music, really on the spiritual side. To be able to lift myself up, and also to be able to just communicate to the people who I love what my sort of last will and testament, or everything that I loved about it. I've just put it into the music because I wasn't sure that I was going to make it through, right? So I just put my heart and soul into music, and I taught myself how to play guitar. I was just writing poetry, and I just I fell in love with it. And I just made a simple promise. I was like, look, if I make it through all of this craziness, I'm gonna share what I've been through, but I'm going to continue to connect with people through music. And every opportunity in my life since has come from doing the music, whether it's, teaching myself how to build a business, making new relationships, falling in love, all these different types of things. It's all gravitates, it's a satellite around music as the core. So, yeah, man. So this is why I do what I do. And, some people, they have the end goal. This is the end goal always, right? Of course, that's part of the end goal for real. Nobody's gonna front, but at the same time, it's. I feel like it's a part of me,
It's not what motivates you.
It shouldn't be the end goal. It should be the passion that drives you to do it. And
so in that sense, there's no giving up for me. This is who I am still. I'm gonna be making music. I've seen so many talented people rise and fall and just disappear. But this is what I love doing: hip hop and reggae music, and just music in general. This is me.
You've been in the game for a long time. As far back as I can remember, I remember your music. I remember that collabo you had with Kendrick Lamar back in the day. I didn't know till last week that you actually you do reggae as well.
That means
it's amazing. Man.
I got to get Tech to do my marketing, because you should know about that. Because you saw the intro. Maybe I need a new marketing team for real still.
I'm just doing my due diligence, man. That's actually funny. I don't know if you want to go into detail about the Kendrick Lamar situation, but it is kind of a major part of your story. Just because I've interviewed you about this multiple times already, but I mean, like, yo, I remember being on K103 and blasting that record to the point where it was just like, yo, Blaster, just pull it up again. if I could have dropped flex bombs on it, I would have been dropping the flex bombs all throughout that. But I don't know, dude. Would you?
I mean, look. I mean, for real, it's a pretty simple story, right? You know, we did a collabo. I paid the man. I told the man I was gonna come on. Oh, this is his team. I never really dealt with Kendrick directly. This is his team. This is Top Dog and the man. So I paid the fee, did the thing, and I said, okay, it's gonna be on my first album. And then as I was gonna release my album, you know, their situation changed with Interscope or whatever.
Was that when he dropped Swimming Pools or something?
No, B. That was like right before when he was gonna drop what's that album? The big one, bro. Like his To Pimp a Butterfly. So they were doing
Classic
a roll.
album,
They were yeah, man. That's a wicked album. Like they were doing a rollout for that, but I didn't know this. It's not like they keep me apprised of whatever the moves are doing. And when I did the collabo with them, it was right before he got into his Interscope deal. So I was getting ready to put out my first album while he was putting out To Pimp a Butterfly, and it didn't work out. So they shut the thing down. You know, they said, okay, we don't want it. And I was like, yo, you know, I paid for it. You know, like I put in the work. I had the whole marketing thing, so I just rolled it out still. So they did what they could to block me, but at the end of the day, like, the music is out there. It still lives. So.
And at the end of the day, I think that actually gave you a little more shine when it comes to Kendrick Lamar coming after you.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, like, honestly, I don't think it was like a real, like, personal type thing. It's just like,
it's a label.
I mean, everyone's got shareholders and investors and Ray, and they're just like, I'm not a part of that rollout.
But like at that time, when all this is going on, are you down about this? Are you upset? Like, because I mean, I know for a lot of people that would have been a knockout blow. That would have been like, you know, how are you dealing with this?
But I'm not doing this for that type of clout. Right. Like that's not what I'm doing it for. Like I said in the beginning, it's like, you know, it could have been any other artist that I collabed with. Yeah. It just happened to be one of the artists who I think is seminal in our time. You know, like one of the best artists out there, right?
Agreed.
So you know,
he's a flag bearer for sure.
For sure, you know. So it's like why if that's gonna stop you from going after your dream, then you know maybe it's not much of a dream. Yeah. Like Chappelle said, Chappelle has a line about this. He does it in one of his stand-up comedies. You check it out. But you know, like if stuff like that is going to impede you from doing what you need to do, you know, like I'm not really worried about what the next man say. You know, it's like, oh, Jonathan, you know, like you're not whatever, bro. Like this is me. This is
keep on moving.
That's why I look up to you because bro, I'm a Cancer, like my sign, right? So I be in my feelings. Like I would have wanted to do something to somebody, like you know, I would have been
the first flight out to LA.
Like, literally, I'd have been on some bullshit.
For sure, you're feeling some type of way.
Like,
for sure,
I'm not going down to LA and throwing hands with Top Dog. I'll tell you that right now, bro. But it's just you know, it's you know, this game is so superficial and so political. You know what I mean? Like, and it's just like, you know, it's my word is my bond, right? So if I make a deal with somebody, I'm gonna carry up the end of the deal, and that's it. You know what I mean? To the letter of the deal, and that's it. So beyond that, I mean that you know, that for me, that's like ancient history. And since then, I've moved on, and like going back to what you're saying about reggae, I have a distribution deal with Bob Marley's label,
that's what
Tough
I wanted
Dog
to get
International.
into.
You know, and it wasn't a departure from hip hop. It's like I've always, you know, a lot of people who've been listening to me for a while, they know that I've always been straddling between, you know, like reggae and hip hop music, and like these are like two sides of myself. So it's like my Black American side and my Jamaican side, and it's just coming together. So over time, figuring out what my sound is, it's always been a combination of the both. So it was really wicked to do an album with Tough Gong, you know, and to put it out through Tough.
Space is in between, by the way. Go get that.
How did you happen to get in contact with Tough Gong? Like, how did that connection come to be? Like,
everything is just a cold email. Same way like how I reached Top Dog them. I just sent a cold email like through my management, like, hey, this is who I am. This is what I do. You want to collab? And the same thing I did for Tough Gong. I just sent in my management sent an email, and the first response was like, oh, you know, we don't take unsolicited Ray, you know, like, I'm sorry, you know, but, you know, we don't take unsolicited the material. And I was like, all right. And then I told my manager, I'm like, yo, Reggie, I told you, it doesn't work like that. You don't just send people emails. But then they sent an email back like a half an hour later, like, hang on, We're gonna review this and we're gonna get back to you.
We
And then I
got
was
something
like,
here. There's something
and
here.
I was like, okay. And then then a couple days later, they sent the first draft of the distribution deal. And but I have to underline that it's just a distribution deal, right? It's a step. It's a step. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm on tour with Ziggy or whatever. Like it's like or with Damian. It's I like what that label represents. I like what the distribution house represents, and to carry that torch of roots reggae and to be able to sing, to cover Bob Marley and then to contribute to the culture in that way, that's beautiful. Like I really love that.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I'm not gonna lie, the song "A Little More."
You try a little more.
It sounds like Bob Marley. You know what I mean? I hear the Bob Marley influence and everything.
Yeah, man.
Did that one hit in Jamaica? Was it being played?
Yeah,
a lot?
I mean, my focus was really like the UK and the United States, and I still have a lot of legwork to do in Jamaica. But yeah, I mean, it's playing on radio everywhere.
It's a vibe,
you know
man.
what I mean? And that's, like I said, it's the first step. I have a follow-up reggae album. I've been working with some new artists. I have a track with Jesse Royale that I just cut. Well, I won't talk about that one. We'll talk about it when the paperwork goes through. But
Wait for that.
There's more music coming, on the reggae side and on the hip hop side. And I just did a song for you today. The full album's done. It's been done. It's been mastered, and I'm hoping to put it out.
How long did it take you to get this album done and mastered?
It's always weird. It's because the production of it really doesn't take that long. You know what I mean? Like the production could take between 6 months and a year. Like just to get it right. And then you just tweak over time while you're waiting for the whole business apparatus or marketing or whatever to like kick in. Okay, maybe I'll change this and change that. But the album's been done for a while. The album's been, we mastered it in January, but we recorded the whole thing. We recorded the whole thing in like before the pandemic hit and stuff.
Are you going back into the project and saying, I can tweak this over here, I can tweak that?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of artists are like that, but
Like, no,
for me,
done.
it's like it's like you got to look at a lot of artists, right? Let's do it in terms of like food, right? McDonald's is one of the biggest food companies in the world. Do they have the best food in the world? Like, I know.
No.
All right.
No.
Okay. But the fact that they can produce it consistently is pretty My man's like, yeah, man, filet o fish though.
Wait, I don't know what you guys are talking about.
He's like, I don't know,
Extra
man. That's
mayo.
Somebody's sponsored by McDonald's over here.
Right, Big
Not
Mac
yet.
all day.
Not yet. We're not living the dream yet.
That's some high Scottish cuisine right there. McDonald's, yeah, man. No, but like, they put it out consistently and they have a formula, and that's what is success. And that's what, when I was a younger artist, I struggled with that. I was trying to make everything too perfect, just like get everything right, but not realizing that it's like quality and quantity you have to put out and be consistent about it. So at this point, like, yeah, I listen to it, I'm like, man, I should change that, but I've settled into it. I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna change it on the next project.
That's the perfect way of thinking of things.
There's even like the aspect of being patient with your project, because there's comes with time that things are gonna come out of it that you need to be patient. Like you said, like the marketing and all that stuff behind it. Like you could be recording a song this week, I don't know about money, and then next week the concept's changing in your head, so you want to go back and tweak it. So you got to be patient with your craft as well.
That's right, yeah. I mean, I like to do it in phases. I mean, you're an artist too, right? So, it's like you have one phase where you just have the ideation and you figure out what is it you want to do, and you do as much as possible. But then when you get to the next step, like, don't go back. Just like, okay, next step, now I'm talking about polishing and refining, and then next step is the mixing, and the next step is the mastering, and then after that's the marketing, right? Yeah. So, like, a lot of people, they just try to do everything at once, and they just get mashed up because it's like, yo, to do what we're doing as independent artists, you have labels of hundreds of people that used to do that in the 70s and 80s and 90s. It's this new phenomenon of like one guy and his computer and SoundCloud.
Literally.
It's like playing the lotto.
But it's like Russ, for example, he just dropped a track every week on SoundCloud, and look at the guy now.
Yeah, but that he did it smart though, because what he did is he recorded a whole bunch of material. Exactly. It's not like he was recording week after week. Like he sat down for like a month or two, and exactly the same way Kanye did it. Like he sat down 2 summers and did, I don't know, there's like a legend about like I did 5 beats a day or something like that. And then he had a bank, and we're hearing stuff from that bank still now. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Pulls it out. He's like, oh, let me refine it. Let me add some strings. Let me do something. And, you know, so that it's just part of the creative and the business process, you know. And it's hard, especially when you're collaborating with other people. It's hard because, you know, everyone puts their 2 cents in, and everyone's at a different level, and everyone has different. That's the thing with music and art. Everyone's insecurities and everyone's egos come out, you know. Yeah, egos is a thing.
And working with someone else, it's like it has to be tweaked to a certain degree that they like it as much as you like it.
Yeah,
and
sure.
we're our toughest critics is hearing ourselves and being like, I didn't do that right. And then people are like, no, it sounds really good. So it's like you always have to even be patient with the artist as well that you're working with, because you want to get it perfect for everyone's ears.
But that's why I'm a proponent of, if you're an artist, like, get you a home studio setup. Because like the verse that I just laid for you not too long ago, shameless plug.
It's disgusting.
It's
a crazy verse.
It was decent. But like literally just being at home, like, bro, the man sent me the track. I'm there in my drawers and a Guinea t-shirt, like I always say, because that's the vibe at home. You know, I got my house slippers on. He sends me the track and I'm like, I'm going in the studio right now, and I'm not going to come out until I'm happy with the finished product. And boom, within a couple of hours, sent the man the verse. I don't got to worry about booking studio time and being prepared. I know I only have 2 hours to lay the verse, so the performance has to be on point. Like,
that's it,
bro. You just go until you're good to go. So again, for you aspiring artists who are watching or listening to this, like, put the investment down, get you, $1,500, get you a decent home setup, and bro, it's gonna change your life.
Yeah, man, that's freedom.
It changed my life.
It is.
And the comfortability you get from being at home, it's no comparison to being in a studio. You know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a major key.
You got to put your money where your mouth is, and you got to stay focused, man. That's what it is.
So this album you're working on, you were saying you dabble in hip hop and reggae. Are we going to hear a blend of both, or really just hip hop? Because from what we were hearing before, it was more hip hop. So it's going to be a blend of both?
Definitely it's going to be a blend of both. It's kind of hard, especially for people who are just discovering me from the first time, because there's a whole group of people who just see me like as a reggae artist now. And then there's a bunch of people who know what I was doing before and see me as a hip hop artist.
Yeah.
And now I just got to find that middle ground. There's some tracks on this new album that really do both, you know?
Okay.
Like the song I just put out with Tech is doing a remix to it. It's called No Smoke.
That's a great
I like
song.
the hook. It's like, John know them no wanna smoke. Them taking man for a joke. Why just a little like a reggae vibe.
I heard
on the
that.
hook.
Super track.
But I'm like, I'm rapping through it, you know, like I'm doing it's like a trap beat. So just merging the worlds, because there's always been that synergy between Jamaican music. I mean, look,
Hip hop is based off dancehall.
I mean, hip hop is based off of dancehall and chanting and toasting and stuff like that. So it's like bringing that back in a modern space is like what I want to do. You know what I mean?
And Jamaica is known. It's the smallest Caribbean country, one of the smallest, and it has the most influence.
No, man, Big Island. What you say?
One of the most influential throughout the world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
musically, absolutely. I mean,
punch above our weight with music for sure. You know?
It is kind of crazy when you think of it, like how much influence that one island nation in the middle of the Caribbean Sea has had on the entire world.
Yeah.
Like for whether we're talking about reggae, whether we're talking about culture, fashion, smoking. I know that's not what you want to be known for, but that 420 culture has permeated the rest of society. I mean, how many, college kids do you see with dreadlocks and a Bob Marley flag in their dorm room smoking? I mean, like, it's crazy. It's crazy to think about when you really think about it, and like hip hop would not exist without
Jamaican culture. Yeah. I mean, it's I think all the great cultures are real fusions. Obviously where it was born, in Queens and the Bronx and in New York City, it's like you had that genesis of like Puerto Ricans and Jamaicans and Black Americans and just that mix, that vibe is like where it came from, and it's a wicked fusion. So yeah, man.
Yeah.
Food's not bad either.
Food is amazing.
Leave it to Tech to talk about food.
Hey man, I'm trying to get my sponsorship game on point. So Grace Hot Sauce, holler at your boy.
Shout out McDonald's.
I'll put it on cereal.
Yeah, there's a lot of good people, in Toronto and Montreal and this what's his brother's name? I can't remember, but he has a restaurant now on Notre Dame called Tropical.
Okay.
And it's like fusion Caribbean food. It's right across from my restaurant. I have a small restaurant. It's like Greek fusion stuff too.
It's what kind of fusion?
It's Greek.
Greek fusion.
Yeah, you heard him right. You heard him right.
Man in the
This is
building.
the Greek restaurant owner.
Bro, this is Alaka. Tzatziki right here.
Tzatziki.
Freaky Tzatziki right here.
Mr. Freaky Tzatziki, aka the main malaka, you know?
So, yeah, it's a Greek restaurant, but then like we do different types of gyro. So we have like a jerk chicken gyro.
Oh, fuck.
I like the way he pronounced that right there.
Yeah,
Yeah, you have to do proper.
That was
you know,
proper. That was really
you can't be
proper.
like gyros.
Yeah, no, I'm a gyro guy. Yo, let me hold the
I
gyro.
spent too much time in New York. That's like.
There's a jerk chicken gyro in the city, and I have not heard about that.
Yeah,
You have to
bro.
go check it.
How
Okay, so
did-
that's where we're going after the podcast.
Wicked.
Where was the brainchild for that? How did you think of
It's
this?
what my best friend from childhood, from high school. He's Greek, and we all, you know, like since high school, we're just like, he actually started out with music. He actually helped me secure that deal with Kendrick with that, and he was managing me at one time, and we're still in business together to this day. You know.
Plug the man. What's his name?
No, I don't know. I don't drop his name because he doesn't like the spotlight type thing, man. Like,
He's behind the scenes. Silent
Mystery
partner.
man. Shout out Mystery man.
so yeah, he's been holding me down for years, and we had this idea in high school, you know, like we wanted to do, you know, maybe we could do a jerk chicken gyro, and this was like 15 years ago, you know, like
Yeah, you
whatever.
keep saying that, and I'm just like getting hungry.
I'm doing sales right now. $8.99. But yeah, he like we came up with this idea a long time ago, and then an opportunity presented itself like a couple years ago to like do a small concept. So it's a really small concept. I'm like a minority share owner holder in the thing, but I contributed to the design and the concept and everything like that and the promotion of it. So yeah, so all this to bring it back. I want to do a Jamaican restaurant.
Yeah.
I really want to do a really that's the next project. I really want to do a Jamaican restaurant, just but not one of those one where you have to wait like 4 hours to get your food. You know,
It's not authentic.
You
Man.
get to the counter, they say, we're not have that.
It ain't authentic.
Ran out.
It's not-
Just or no.
Try again tomorrow.
But yeah, I mean that's I find there's so, I don't know. I feel like ever since I went through that experience when I was younger, I just have like this energy for life, you know, and it's like I don't have to be the number one or the top of everything, but I want to do things passionately and properly in the way that I think it works. And it's like that with music, like music and food and culture and doing things like this. It makes people feel good because there's enough calamity in the world, and there's enough, you know, oppression and everything that we're dealing with. You know, take these moments and take these good things, and it reminds you about life. And yeah.
But that's another cool thing about you as well, is because you're not just solely an artist, business owner. Like, you actually make it a point to be super socially conscious and like progressive in your music and like talk about these type of issues. Whereas I find a lot of artists today, you know, people just want to do what's hot.
Yeah.
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 Whereas like Jonathan, and you could tell that like your music kind of comes from a real place, because the things you're talking about are authentic to you, and that's like, you know, it's kind of a rarity, unfortunately, today. I find.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I think you're right about that, you know. And I don't know. I think the world's just in like a weird place, and I'm lucky enough to have like be raised well, you know. Like, my parents really put an effort into that, and I have the groundation, and just like where I come from, whether it's soul or jazz or hip hop or reggae music, it's always come from like a people first type attitude.
Exactly.
And I never really thought anything about it until I started hitting walls about it. You know what I mean? Like, I show music to people, and you know, like, oh no, you can't say that, it's too controversial. Oh, you know, that's too political, that's too this, that's too, you know, like, you can't, you know. But it's a lot easier to talk about nothing and just have a vibe, and you know, it's easier to sell products and stuff like that. But like, who are we making the music for? If we're not making it for ourselves, I mean, you know.
If I had a sound effect to hit on that. Yeah, exactly. That's actually our sound
That's
effect.
our sound effect. We do it by voice. We don't actually have the buzzer.
But nah, that's a super fact, bro. Like,
I mean, it's, you know, and it definitely makes things. Definitely makes this harder. It makes the hustle more, you know, harsh. But at the same time, it's like, who do you want to be? You know what I mean?
well, you'd rather be like successful and be able to look yourself in the mirror at the end of the day than get to a certain point and know that you've talked about nothing this whole time. You know what I mean? Like, literally, bro.
Gucci, Fendi. No?
And you get to say that you did it being real and being true to yourself from the get-go, and there was no fake shit along the way. You stayed true to you, and that's the most important part.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, and it's so stressful out there in the world, and you know, I know even with this pandemic, a lot of people been losing their damn minds, you know, in different ways, and not knowing what's real and what's important. But you know, I think I'm just lucky to have the groundation that I have, and have like a family, and just be clear on, like, you know, what my bottom line is, you know.
Yeah.
All right, thanks. That's good.
Now, before you get out of here, I feel like we got to talk about Mind Peace Love as well,
Yeah,
because you know, Jonathan is an amazing artist in his own right. He's also got a collective, I would say, maybe of great artists as well under you, and not just singers, songwriters, but you actually have, like, you know, a full-fledged band, if I'm not mistaken.
For sure. I mean, you know, these are all just relationships, because to tell you the truth, you know, Mind Peace Love, especially when the pandemic hit, it hit a wall, you know what I mean? Because the model is you go out there and you perform and stuff, and we didn't have the merch set up, and we didn't have the novelty stuff set up. So it's like, it's always a work in progress. But like everyone that I work with, the people that are like orbiting my circle, like I keep those relationships. Like some of these people I've been playing music with 10 years plus, you know, like when I first started out.
I can attest to that.
First started out.
I see the credits in a lot of the stuff that you do. There's a lot of people on that team. You know?
My boy Franco Peretti, he's a sax player. I joined the band with him I won't date myself, but it was a long time ago. And I got him to play sax on the song with Kendrick Lamar, right? And then I got you know, my bassist Sean Ryan, or my drummer Wali Muhammad. These people I met over the years, and you just build this trust. I mean, in business you call it like strategic relationships. So I have all these strategic relationships with good people, with smart people, with talented people, and I just move with it. And I go into the pool, and like, if I'm not vibing with you, I'm not vibing with you. It's not disrespect, you know, but it's just it's like, yo, you want to move a certain way, you know, and you want to feel comfortable with the people around you, and you want to have faith. Exactly. You know, so that's it, you know. So Mind Peace Love is right now. Eventually I'd hope for it to grow into like a full service label and stuff like that. But now it's just stuff to put out when I'm working on, and some key artists, any artist that I love come to me and say, hey, I want to put out something through Mind Peace Love. We say, all right, let's do a deal, and, you know, let's make it happen. Just the sort of energy that I'm giving off right now is the energy that we need, you know, like, I'm not sure if, you know, you're talking about moving bricks, that it would moving bricks of love, maybe. So
we can't feature you on the Trap House track that we got?
No, you'll see me on those tracks. You'll see me on those tracks.
I mean, No Smoke is a trap record.
It is, you know what I mean?
But he's not talking about.
But I'm not going to step outside my lane, you know what I mean? I'm not going to try to be somebody that I know I'm not to be. It's like sort of how like Bob Marley could move through things and go talk to the bondman them, and then talk to the politicians them, and then talk to the youth them, and the people. That's what you need.
Yeah.
And this whole like, no, this is, you know, like the pretentious, like, I don't do one thing or the other. That's not real life. You don't talk to your brethren the way you talk to your banker. I mean, like, it's a different vocabulary. It's a different reality.
Yeah.
You're a veteran OG in the game.
Don't call me that. I mean,
no, you are, but you are. You are though. You are a veteran OG in the game. What words of wisdom do you have for the younger generation? Like, you have to have something to tell the young guys to big up their game, and
don't make the same mistake I did. Like, collaborate more earlier. You know, the city is kind of like, I'm gonna be negative now. The city is kind of like
divided.
Yeah, but it's not just like an East-West division between French and English. It's like sort of this attitude that.
Well, we were talking about that last time. Ego. It's the ego. Like, it's so ego-driven. Like,
you don't have my artistic taste. Oh, you're nothing. Oh, you don't move. You don't do business a certain way. Oh, you're nothing. Oh, you've gotten a certain level of success, and you sell out. You know, like, there's some people in this city who I've worked with in the past who, like, I really like mess with, you know, like Naya Ali, you know,
she's dope.
Like, we worked with together years ago, and she found her lane, and she found her tribe, and she's doing it, and like, I just, you know, clapping from the hilltops.
Exactly.
Narcy, we've actually never done music together, but Narcy is somebody who I respect.
You just brought it back.
Heavy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Of course.
It's been a minute since I heard of Narcy too.
There's too many. There's CJ Fleming. He's been doing his thing for a year.
Fire as well.
I mean, there's so much talent, but like, it's like nobody didn't talk to nobody. It's like
it's bougie.
It's absurd. You know what I mean? But I think once we, what I guess what I'm getting at is for young people, it's like, you know, don't let the ego get in the way of the bag.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't let the ego get in the way of like real connections and true collaborations. You know, and I'm open. You know, and I'm a little too frank with people sometimes. So they're just like, oh, it's like, it's not my lane. It's not my lane. I'm not gonna pretend. I'm not gonna.
It's better that way. You got to be your authentic self. I think that's a good takeaway for the youth as well, trying to get into the music game, because I mean the reality is, bro, you know, a lot of the things that people are talking about, first of all, you shouldn't be perpetuating a stereotype to begin with. Society's got its negative views of certain groups as it is, so why perpetuate a stereotype, especially if you're not really living it? You know, that's just always irked me. So it's just like, be true to yourself. Like, you don't need to rap about, you know, doing this and that, and like, come on, bro.
No,
we
not
don't
only that,
believe you
like-
anyway.
Yo,
we don't believe you anyway.
I mean, some people I know from the city, that's the way that they live, and that's
for
what they
sure.
rap around.
It's
And I'm like,
unfortunate.
okay,
It's
that's. I mean,
unfortunate.
like rap about what you know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna change myself to like, to
To fit in.
Yeah,
with
to
that.
fit in with someone.
like,
that-
if you see me dropping like, I don't know, like Filipino raps one day, you're gonna be like, okay, I think this guy's not in his lane. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm Jamaican, I do reggae. You know, I grew up in the city. Hip hop's a big part of my life. I do hip hop, and I represent. Like, you won't hear a lie in the in the music that I'm talking
being raw and
about.
authentic is way more powerful. At the end of the day, people recognize real, right? So I really like what you're doing here and how you're bringing people together, especially with the pandemic where everyone's so divided. You know, there's, oh, you're vaccinated, you're not vaccinated, oh, COVID's real, COVID's not real. Like, everyone's became so divided throughout the pandemic that you're coming here and you're bringing people together and you're being raw and authentic, and like, we need more people like that in this industry.
Facts.
Yeah.
What did I see recently too? That you got quoted in Time magazine.
Yeah.
Yeah, they quoted this man in Time magazine. That's like some big shit right there.
Yeah, for real.
Well, what I think about the subject is, no, it was like, honestly, it's just being open. I was on a Clubhouse and I accidentally ended up in this room, and it was like a whole bunch of like Jewish people. They were just like talking about like
Shabbat.
art, so art and culture and stuff. And me and my wife were just listening, and we're just like, we just got a different perspective, you know. Because it's like you said before, people's like, this group is this way and this group is this way. And then we just got into like, you know, we just went into the like Clubhouse room, and I started like performing and just got to have real connections with people. And then you see how much we have in common. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
divisions.
and it's like, you know, if this could happen more frequently, like that room that I was in, it's called Value Culture. It's wicked. Like if you could see, if you could get past the politics and the, you know, and respect people's boundaries and what you know, you could do a lot, you know. And that's another thing I think for young people to realize is just like, be upfront with your boundaries, and you, and part of that is knowing what you can do and what you can't do. I mean, there's things that I can't do, you know, and I just find somebody else who's great at it, and then we vibe, and then we just do it, and realize that everyone's hustling. Everyone's hustling.
Yep.
You know, you see somebody like, oh, they're at the top. Why isn't he answering my email back? Why isn't he do it? Yo, like,
Man's busy.
everybody is hustling. You think I don't forget? I think I don't default on things? You think I'm not trying to like hold together family and do a million? I mean, bro, like, you have to understand that everyone is doing it, you know, as
In their
best
own
as
way,
they
too.
can, you know?
Yeah.
And then struggling to hold on to who they are, or become who they want to be at the same time still. Yeah.
Real life is a part of the process that a lot of people forget. That, like, you know, they see a Jonathan Emile, and you know, he's this successful guy, he's got all these things going on, but people forget that there's a person behind all of that. Like, he's just, as much as he's this, you know, whatever you want to build up in your mind's eye of who he is, it's like there's just he's a dude at the end of the day.
I gotta do my taxes, bro.
You know what I mean?
I gotta do my
Exactly.
independent worker taxes and my corporate taxes right now. So, you know, like, it's these types of things that, when we're moving through life, it's like, okay.
Yeah,
you know,
at the
it's
end of the day,
a
you're a
real
human
thing.
being.
Yeah.
You're a human being. You're human like the rest of us. You're way taller than I expected in person. I'll tell you that.
I'm surprised.
Compared
No,
to
they're
me?
usually shorter.
Compared
They're
to me?
usually
Really?
shorter.
Think so?
They're usually shorter. Usually when you meet somebody, you're like, damn, I thought he was like
shit, hey,
6 something. He's like,
I mean, I only have to look up at him when he's talking.
Oh. That's why I'm leaning back in the chair.
yeah, we made him lower his chair,
Yeah.
even things out, because
That's
you
right.
know I'm pretty egotistical.
When a
man.
razor is a bad.
Well, I mean, you listen to your voice. You're like, yo, this guy is like 6'7", 900 pounds, bro.
Well, you got the pounds part right, man. You know.
I know, Reggie.
You know. I'm working on it, though. I'm working on it. Y'all gonna see you in the next couple episodes. I'm trimming and slimming and all that type of shit. You know.
You got everything in the bank right now. You said you have the album all wrapped up.
Mm-hmm.
What's the next phase? What's the plan?
I got to get touring again, man. I'm gonna go. I'm trying to go to Jamaica and see Maxi Priest. Maxi is an amazing collaborator, amazing human being.
Is he featured on a song with you?
Yeah, we did a song together last year called "Babylon Is Falling," and he's a legend.
Which is huge.
He's a legend.
Which is huge. By
yeah,
the way.
it's man, it was such a privilege to work with him on that, and I'm trying to go down there and do some music with him, and then just try to be on the road more. I don't know when that's gonna happen, but I'm looking forward to the normalcy of things coming back.
Slowly.
It'll be a nice change from the last 15 months or 16 months or however long it's been, bro. It's wild, man. Listen, from here on out, when people talk about artists who are doing things in the city, of course, you always mention the Nia Alis, the Nate Husses. Big up to Nate.
Yeah, big up to Nate Huss.
All of these people doing their things. I want to hear his name in the conversation as well, because for whatever reason, and maybe you don't agree with me on this, but I'm here to shout it from the motherfucking rooftops if I need to. Jonathan Emile's name needs to be in the conversation. He's done so much in the music industry. He's done a lot for the city as well. I'm not lying when I tell you that every time you have something hip hop going on, I get a phone call. It's like, yo, Tech, I need you on this or that. He doesn't have to do that.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that. You don't have to be collaborating with local people and making sure that people get a space to shine on your projects as well, and you do. So again, anytime you guys are putting together these little lists of people that are popping in the city, I want to hear his name on the motherfucking list. All right? That's it.
We got to jot it down. We got to put it on the list. Definitely.
Because I'll be getting in my feelings. You
don't worry, guys. I'm good. Whatever. Leave me off the list. I'm just give me the money still.
There you go. All right. Fair enough.
Like, now that everything's coming into fruition and everything, if you had the opportunity to work with a huge artist, somebody that really, really like clicks with you. Cole?
Yes.
Cole?
Okay.
I can see it. I can definitely see it.
Yeah. I don't know when that's gonna happen, but
one day.
But I mean, the thing is we're of the sort of the same like generation, like age or whatever group. I mean, if I had an opportunity to work with either Cole or Drake, like it would be huge. But there's so many to name. Yeah. Like there really is, like, bro, man. There's a lot of people, and even some younger cats I love to work with. There's a lot of good music going on.
Lil TJ, no, I'm joking.
Lil Pump.
Let's get it.
Jack Harlow's pretty dope, actually. He's a good young.
I'll work with anyone if the track is right, though.
Yeah.
But because look what that song that 21 Savage did with Cole, was a lot. You know?
Yeah, I remember that song.
Man,
got stuck in my head a lot too.
That's the type of thing like we can't be afraid of. Like when you talk about hip hop, it's like conscious hip hop can't just be sectioned off, or like roots reggae can't just be sectioned off from dancehall or whatever. We've got to collaborate, because you're not fighting against each other. We're fighting against like the machine and the beast, like this whole like, the scarcity mindset. We're not business with all of that,
It's a fact, bro. So many gems on today's podcast, goddammit. So many gems.
Drop them.
I feel like I should have brought a little bag to put all the gems inside.
Should make an NFT out of something. I don't know.
Hustle gems.
We'll figure it out.
But thank you guys. I really appreciate you having me on the cast.
It's our pleasure, man.
Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, I think we still have a little more time. We started a little late today, so let's keep it going. And there was something else that I wanted to ask you, but it completely evaporated from my head. So I think Tech has to field this next question.
Oh, they're just gonna put me on the spot, 'cause, let's put the radio guy on the spot. Let's see what we could come up with. No, so I mean, listen, I don't feel like we've talked enough about your upcoming project. Honestly, I feel like we should plug it a little bit more. Not just because I have a verse on it. That's not really why. I know Talia thinks I'm over here trying to take the shine and stuff like that, but it's not necessarily true.
It's okay, Tech. You can have it.
You can't steal the shine from her. What are you talking about?
It's true. We be fighting all the time.
I give it to him.
But it's love. It's like a sibling relationship.
I mean, maybe you think it's love, but on my end, speak for yourself.
So about the album.
Go ahead. I'll keep my comments to myself.
So the album is called Wilderness. Wilderness. And it's been like, honestly, it's been years in the making, because after I dropped my previous hip hop album, Phantom Pain, I just took a full year off. When I say off, it's like I wasn't really performing, but I was just writing. I was just, what do I want to do creatively? You know what I mean? And taking care of life things, you know? And then I started the album Wilderness, and the whole concept is, you know, like, when you're in the wilderness, or when you're in the great outdoors, and like there's no civilization around you, it's like total freedom but total responsibility. You know, you have to fend for yourself. You have to do what you need to do to get by. And that's like a lot of the times how I feel like my relationship with the music industry is. It's like, I am not an insider. People think that it's because if you get to a certain level, or you have certain things, you have certain connections. I'm still like very much independent. Even with the moves I did with Tough Gong and distribution, it's still very much like, if I'm not running, nothing I'll move. You know what I mean?
It's a fact.
So
a fact.
it's like, the wilderness is a concept that, like, you never really know. You know, you're always really responsible for every part of your actions, but you never really know which way you're gonna go, and you're exposed to the elements. You know, the hostility, the you know, and there's this big poetic concept behind it, but it bangs. Like, No Smoke is on the album. The song I did, Motivation for You, is on the album. There's some deeper cuts with like some more emotional themes and stuff, and it's about 10, 12 songs, and it's just like a full range of sort of dealing with the fact that, you know, a lot of us feel isolated and alienated, and I think a lot of people could relate to that. Like,
Big
with
time.
the pandemic right now, you just realize how alone you are and how disconnected from everything that you are, and people yearn to like connect with people. So the wilderness is just like an exploration of that, and I'm trying to put that out this year. It's got some really, really powerful songs on it, and it's something I'm proud of.
And it's gonna be available on all the sites and everything.
Yeah,
like that.
everywhere. I'm gonna put it out through Mind Peace Love. I'm looking for another distributor to do it, because the reggae stuff is great with Tough Gong, and I'm trying to do hip hop too. So I'm like exploring what to do with it, but yeah, I'm still hustling on it and just trying to find the right moment to like put it out there to the world and do some video. You see me?
We're here to do some videos for you. Being strategical, I like that. Yeah, back to I remembered what I wanted to ask you.
There you go, Steve.
Hey.
So I saw those videos that you shot. I don't know if it was 2 videos that you shot in Jamaica. It was Moses,
Yes.
one of them, and there was a little more.
Yeah.
Those were phenomenal videos, by the way.
Thank you.
And what was the experience of actually doing a video like that, having those kids in it, and walking? I think it was
Okay,
7 Mile Beach.
Oh, 7 Mile Beach, because my family is from Savannah Lamar, Sab Lamar, or Sav we call it in Jamaica, and that's like 20-30 minutes away from Negril, which is one of the most beautiful beach.
Go to Rick's Cafe.
Yeah, man, it's okay. So you know what's up. You know what's
Been
up.
there 3 times.
This guy's, it's like, I know this place.
He was doing ayahuasca in the jungle for some reason. I don't know. It's what I see Steve
The
doing.
Inca trails and shit.
So, you know, it's first of all, it was one of the most different production experiences I've ever done in my life. You're in video production. You have a studio here, a beautiful studio. Come check it out.
It's actually not our studio. But
Oh, okay, sorry.
Thank you
Yeah,
anyways.
but come
Shout
by
out
still.
to
Shout out to
Rush.
Michael.
Big up, Mike. You know, I have a production company. That's one of the businesses I own, and I do a lot of video and communications and stuff like that. And I've been a producer on different commercials and film and stuff like that, wearing that hat. And doing that in Jamaica, it was incredibly difficult. We flew down a team of 6 people, and we tried to shoot 4 music videos. We got them all done. I have some music videos in the bank. You know, it was difficult. It was me translating from patois to French to English, wrangling different extras, finding locations. Dealing with the curfew, because I know this curfew is new to all you people. Like, oh, the curfew. There's curfew in Jamaica all the time for violence. Yes. When you step off the resort, there's a real Jamaica, and there's curfew. You know what I mean? So dealing with that, you know, we had a fire in a location, Bridging. Oh, Jaja. It was the most intense but rewarding experience of my life. Because the output that we received from that was phenomenal. And in 5 days we shot, and 6 days we shot 4 videos. We got the thing for 4 videos, and we came back with everything, and we edited it sequentially. So it was great. It's you know, imagine doing what you're doing just in like 33 degrees, where the environment moves at a different pace. It's not New York. It's not Toronto.
Yeah, it's island time.
Yeah, it's
island time.
Like it's not even Montreal, because Montreal moves a little slower than there. But it's very it was challenging. It was challenging, and not only did I have to be front of camera, but I was the producer too. And then you know, my wife came down and she did all the styling and hair and makeup, and she's wicked.
So that means no trips to scrub a dub.
Yeah.
He knows what I'm talking about.
I mean, I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, so she was there on location, and you know, I'm still repaying her for like that work, because like that the team that was there made it happen. We had 2 French Canadian filmmakers down there. We had 2 people from the marketing team, and then we had me and my wife, and we did it. We did it, and there's still video coming out. There's still another video that we haven't released yet from that thing. Hey, man.
That's fire. You know, the hustler. He's the right guest to have on the.
Flying out the whole crew down to Jamaica, get this whole thing done.
Gosh, it was crazy. It was crazy. It was very rewarding too, though. Like, it stretched the limits of what. Now every shoot that I do here in Montreal, it's like we do some like commercial shoots. It's just like 4 videos in like a week, no problem. You know, it's just like,
you know what? It has to be a little crazy, because it's always in the process that makes you appreciate the end result so much more.
That's it. You know, and that's what music is a process. I think that you hit the nail on the head there, because if you're just looking for the bag, and you're just, you know, like, the process will be difficult, and you probably need all type of drugs and stimulants to get you through it. But if you enjoy that process, it's like a different thing.
While you guys down there, you went down to Jamaica. Did you lose one of the team members in the tropical vacation?
We almost, but we didn't.
He's like, guys, I'm not filming anything. I'm just gonna kick my feet up on a chair.
Catch me on the beach down there.
That's the problems when you go down to a tropical island. You never know.
You always got to troubleshoot. It's like you're out of your comfort zone first, but then also there's like, you know, a whole heap of things that could happen, like that you just have to adjust on the spot for. You can't. You could have the best production plan ever, but like anyone who's done film or television will tell you, something you always have to adjust on set all the time. And it just so happens that when you're shooting on location and on set, it's like you have to work with what you have. But Jamaica's easy, man. It's so rich, the material, you know, the visual landscape, the sun, the people. Them, like you saw, like if you see that video, Moses. You know, the youths in that video, they're so beautiful.
Playing soccer and everything.
It's like there's so much visual material to work with. The fruits, the water, you know what I mean? It's like,
I think you guys were doing saltfish and ackee at the
Ackee and saltfish, yeah. You know, it's
I know.
He's very cultured, Steve.
He knows.
He's a very cultured guy, bro.
For my next Greek Jamaican restaurant.
You know?
Bring me in.
Oh my God, don't remind me. I want those gyros. I'm hungry now.
I'm still saying gyros. I'm sticking with it.
No, you know, be you.
It's okay. Tech is uncultured. That's what it is, you know?
No, you're actually wrong about that, but it's okay. We'll argue off camera. Don't worry about it.
It's that New York way of saying it. You can't tell anyone from New York who's been or like that it's not gyros.
I'm a south side of the island type of guy. Like, so it's gyros, bro. Like, so you want to argue about it? It's okay. I'm not from PX. We're from the south side.
Oh, that's what
sandwich.
explains it then.
Yeah, it is. It is what it explains it. Absolutely.
It's the south side, huh?
Yeah.
All right, guys. It looks like we're running out of time. We really got to know Jonathan here today. You know, he told us a lot about yourself.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the project dropping. Tell the people where we can find all your music.
You can find everything on jonathanemile.com. You could connect on Facebook, Twitter, you know, Instagram, all that good stuff. Just go jonathanemile.com. That's JONATHANEMILE.
Mm-hmm. I got that. It's here.
You're done, though.
Also, I wanted to say that we're definitely going to have to bring you back on the podcast. I think I can sit here for 4 hours with you and just keep going.
When the album drops, I'll make a stop. If you guys will have me, we'll talk about the hustle of the new album.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
For sure.
Definitely got to bring all future guests that are dropping projects. We got to bring them back, talk about the project.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Jonathan is a great example of an OG veteran in the game.
No, don't call me OG, bro. Makes me sound so old.
All right, guys. Thank you very much for watching the Hustle Podcast, Episode 4. Catch you later.
Peace.
Welcome, everybody. Y'all ready for this? The Hustle. My name is Steve Armopoulos, and these are my co-hosts. I'm Talia.
And I'm Tech Luciano. You may have heard me on radio, you may have never heard of me at all, but that's okay.
Y'all gon' learn today. Your whole life was a struggle, had to make it out the jungle. This is a show for you. Welcome to the hustle. Under pressure, never break a fold. Keep chasing your goals until you blow. Now, welcome to the hustle. Take money, make money, build a future forever. Even in stormy weather, we execute for treasure. The grind is real, you know. Got the willpower, Terrence Howard, hustle and flow. Rain, sleep, or snow. The odds against me for sure. I kick down them doors when they close. A sharp shooter of motivation that leave bullet holes. We're in the zone, get focused, zone. Stay on your toes. Hustle, welcome to the show. If your whole life was a struggle, had to make it out the jungle. This is a show for you. Welcome to the hustle. Turn nothing into something. Cut the product, watch it bubble. This is a show for you. Welcome to the hustle. See the vision with precision. Put the pieces to the puzzle. This is a show for you. Welcome to the hustle. Under pressure, never break a fold. Keep chasing your goals until you blow. Now, welcome to the hustle.
Get well introduced to all three of us.
Y'all ready for this? You are now tuning in to the Hustle Podcast, powered by